What if the life you're living right now is not the result of what you've been through, but it's the result of the story you're telling yourself about what you went through? Because two different women can go through the same exact thing, and one will be bitter, and the other one will come out more powerful than ever. So the question is, what story are you telling yourself? Stay with me, because today we're going to talk about how you can change your story and change your future. Today we're going deeper than habits. We're going deeper than motivation. We're talking about your identity. And we're talking about the power that you have to change your story and then change your future. Because your next chapter should reflect who you are now and who you want to be, not who you used to be. Most people believe that their life is shaped by their circumstances, but that's not entirely true. Your life is shaped by how you interpret those circumstances. What you believe about what happened, what you decided it meant to you, that's what drives your decisions, your confidence, and your direction. Most of us probably know some people or even have read about them in the news where maybe the children grew up in the same household. One person will look at all of the trauma and all of the dysfunction that they experience and just say, I am the way I am because my childhood was horrible. It's my parents' fault. It's my neighborhood's fault. It's because of you name it. And the person with the same exact parents, with the same exact circumstances, will look at that and say, because of my upbringing, there is no way I'm going to repeat that, right? You see, same situation, different story. We're looking today about how we tell the stories about our lives, because that changes absolutely everything. We're looking at changing the narrative about our lives, changing how we see ourselves. One of the things we have to look at is, what are those things that we believe to be true about ourselves? So we're going to talk a little bit about limiting beliefs. Limiting beliefs are deeply held assumptions that feel like they're true. And they could be something like, I'm not good enough. It's too late for me because I'm too old. I completely messed up my life. This is just who I am. And these beliefs are often formed early. And they can be formed from experiences, from failures, maybe some things that people told you about yourself. And over time, they become your identity. Maybe you're from a family and they said, people like us don't go to college. Or you act exactly like your daddy, or you act exactly like your mother. And you look at them and you say, wow, they're not making good decisions. And if I act just like him, then that means I'm not going to make good decisions either. See how that works? Limiting beliefs can really start to shape your life, because they don't just stay in your mind. They start to affect your decisions and your actions. They affect the risks that you are willing to take, opportunities that you pursue, the way you show up in life. Here's a principle. We don't aim for what we want. We aim for what we think we deserve. And here's the part that changes everything. What if those beliefs that you have aren't even facts, but they're just the way you interpret the facts? Lately, I have been studying Dr. Benjamin Hardy. I think his work is absolutely profound. And he talks a lot about your past, your present, and your future self. But one of the things he says is that you don't see your past as it is, you see it as you are. The truth is, what happened in your past is not as important as the story that you tell about it to yourself. That means that you get to decide what your past means. As you are going through life, you can say, oh my goodness, I failed, that's so horrible. Or you can say, hey, That was an experience that I had. I am wiser and I am better because of it. Same event, different identity, and different future. Most people let their past control their present. But the more effective thing to do would be to let your future determine your present. So you take the time and you think about, who do you want to be in the future? What do you want to do? And what are the things that you want to have? Do you want to be a better speaker? Do you want to be more confident? Do you want to be a better parent? You want to be an entrepreneur? Do you want to run a marathon? Do you want to write a book? What do you want to do? And then what do you want to have? You want to have a better relationship with your spouse. You want to have a better relationship with God. You want to have more stuff, a bigger house, a bigger car. What do you want to have? And as you look at your desired future self, then that can determine what you need to do in the present. So if you want to do something that requires a degree and you don't have one, then you probably need to go to school, right? That needs to be part of your present, preparing for it and then attending school. If you want to have a better relationship with your children, then you need to spend some time learning what you need to do and practicing that. So if you didn't have a great childhood, you can read books, watch videos. In this day and age, there is no reason for you not to have the information that is required to be a better parent. So you let your future self determine what you do in the present. And then in terms of your past, you look back and you figure out, what lessons did I learn from the past? Because what is not effective is for you to stay hostage to your past. We're not happy about the negative things that happened in the past, but we can look back and we can appreciate how it made us better people. It made us more discerning, more resilient. We're going to look at the strength part of it and see ourselves as strong, but then look toward the future in terms of what we need to be doing now so we can get to the future that we want to get to. When you have a clear view of your future self, then your past quits being a limitation and you can see your past as preparation for your future. So how do you change your story? The first thing you need to do to change your story or to change the narrative that you have about yourself is to stop labeling yourself based on your past. And when I say past, that could be 5 seconds ago, because that is your past. So don't say things like, I've always been this way, I've never been disciplined, that's just the way I am, that's just part of my personality, I'll never be successful. And the list could go on and on about the negative things that we say about ourselves. As people, we sometimes say the meanest things to ourselves. That if someone said those things to our children, to our partner, to our sister, our brother, our mother, our grandmother, we would be ready to fight. If on a regular basis somebody called someone you loved a loser, or you never do anything right, there you go again. Of course, it was doomed to fail. It was you. The types of things that people say to themselves is absolutely horrible. And if you have been doing this, you have to control your self-talk. You are determining your future based on what you're saying. Take one experience that you regret and ask yourself a few questions. What lesson did I learn? How did it make me stronger? And what did it prepare me for? Those questions are so powerful to be able to reframe the things that happened in your past, because when you change your story, you get to change your future. The step number 3 is to choose a compelling future. A future that you just can't even hardly wait to get to. So take some time to really envision, who do you want to be? Spend some time just journaling about that, meditating about it. See yourself waking up in the morning as her. Have the career that you want, the relationships that you want, the experiences. But take some time, do a deep dive, and figure out who is this future person. Because when I say become her, her is the ideal version of yourself. So you can change your story and then you can become her. You get to live a life as her. And that's so exciting. You're not going to act based on your past self, but from your future self. So when you are really changing this narrative, you stop asking what happened to me and you start asking, who am I becoming? Because you will get the answers to the question that you ask, but you have to ask the right question. You are not your past. You are not your mistakes. You are not your old story, but you are the author of the next chapter, and you get to decide what it looks like. So if you're ready to stop feeling stuck, if you're ready to go forth and write a new story, then I have created something just for you. It is a free training. The link is in the description below. It's called It's Your Time, the breakthrough strategy for Black women over 40 to finally follow through on what matters, even if you have been putting yourself last for years. Your past is not your identity, and you have the power to change your story so you can change your future. This is your time, this is your moment, and you get to write your next chapter. Be blessed.